This is Mindful Trader, and welcome to the first episode of the podcast or webinar on the audio webinar. Today, I'm going to be talking about the emotional health, the emotions of that a trader goes through, and essentially, these are from other books I've read. This is from mainly from personal experience. We all know about the constant ups and downs of our emotions in trading, right? And that usually gets projected into our equity curve, right? So when we're more emotional, we're more prone to make all these types of errors, right? And at the end of the day, that's going to get the more emotions you have throughout the day, you're going to project into your other things. Regardless if you're studying, if you're doing some other work besides trading, the more emotions you're holding within yourself, it's going to come out into your craft. And that's one thing that we don't want. That's absolutely the last thing that we want. So from my experience, four main types of emotions that traders possess are first fear, impatience, envy, and ego. So, and usually these emotions lead us to developing destructive habits. And I know it can be very hard to overcome these destructive habits because you know you're doing these habits, you know you're doing things that are wrong, but they're so drilled into your subconscious mind that it's hard to break up those patterns, right? And I'm sure everybody's experienced days where they were like, okay, I'm not going to overtrade today. I'm not going to overtrade today. And then you end up overtrading, you lose a large percentage, and you're like, at the end of the night, you're like, how the fuck did I get here? How did I let myself do this when I knew that I wasn't supposed to be doing these, right? So usually the destructive habits that these cause are over leveraging, over trading, right? And that falls into that comes from not being able to handle a loss, not being able to walk away from the charts, not being able to close the charts and move on with your day. Some people they take a loss, they're like, oh, now the market's definitely gonna go my way, so why would I not enter, right? And at the end of the day, that's such a bad thought pattern that you're just afraid, right? It's ego that's coming in your way. You don't want to take the loss. You take it as a sign of disrespect from the market, when usually 99% of the time when you do get stopped out, it's because the market's probably going against you, unless you're making some error of using an invalid stop loss. But usually 90% of the time, from what I've noticed from my experience, when I do get stopped out, it's because the market is in fact not going my way. So it's there as a safeguard, right? It's not there to stop the fun. It's not there as a buzzkill. It's literally there to protect your capital, because a trade comes and goes. There's one around every corner. Every minute there's an opportunity in the market, right? So why would we keep rushing it, right? Why are we not walking away from the chart? It's because our ego, and it hurts to say, but you're just incapable of taking a loss. You just want to win, which is stupid because it's a market that's made purely. The market is a statistical approach, right? There's a probability for everything, and there's no 100%, right? Over trading, and then one of them is not trusting your analysis. So that's also a destructive habit, which is caused by fear, right? When you're scared to execute, it's because you don't trust your analysis enough, and that's what's holding you back. The fear part of the market. Whenever the candles are printing on the charts, right? Whenever they're printing, what part of that is scary? What part of price moving is scary? There's absolutely nothing that's scary about price moving. It's that price is basically an endless stream of opportunities. Every minute there's a new price printed, right? Whether it's the same, whether it's consolidating, every minute there's a new price, meaning that every minute there's price taking up and down. So it's an endless stream of opportunities. So why are we so scared? It's not because the candles are scary, because they're not. Make them pretty colors for all I care. They're not scary. It's because you're afraid to execute. And the reason you're afraid to execute is because you're either too emotionally attached to the outcome, or you just don't trust your analysis. And both of them are destructive as hell, because not trusting your analysis, how are you ever going to build confidence if you don't trust your analysis, right? So that's why, like, I really recommend people doing like their own daily recaps, their own weekly analysis. You don't have to post it anywhere, just do it for yourself. But you have to document it, and documenting is not the only step. You have to revise it. A couple of days ago, I posted on my Instagram story, I said documentation plus revision equals accelerated learning, which is 100% true, or accelerated progress, because although you're getting progress from documenting, it's the revision that's the important part. You have to drill it into your head, right? You don't want to be half-assing it when you're trading, right? You want your entire focus to be on the chart, and you want everything to be in your head, right? When it's drilled in your head, why would you make the same mistake over and over? You won't, because your conscious mind will be like, yes, this is something I know, right? Your subconscious mind won't override it. Basically, you've heard the term monkey brain, right? We evolved from apes. So we have millions of years of DNA that's going against us from acting smart in the markets, right? And when we make so many mistakes, it's because our monkey brain, our ape brain, overpowers our conscious, right? And that's what you have to do. You have to settle down the monkey brain and focus on being mindful, and ignore the urges that come, right? You have to be able to control these impulses. So it's literally millions of years of excuse me, of genetics that are working against you from operating efficiently in the market, but that's up to you to overcome it, right? Another destructive habit that's caused by these emotions is when you become rigid and you marry a bias, that's also due to ego, right? It's your ego that's not letting you got to detach yourself. There's this YouTuber named Aaron Doughty, and he really talks about letting go of just everything in life, just outcomes. Let go of outcomes, because the more you chase something, the more it's running away from you. And that's what chasing implies. When you're chasing something, it means that it's running away from you, right? Whether it's you're chasing love, whether you're chasing a trade, especially when you're chasing a trade, when you're solely in it after the money, has it ever worked out for you? No, it's never worked out for anybody. And it's because your mind stops executing on the things that need to be executed on, and focuses solely on the money, right? And this is such an important thing of being able to just detach and just look at price and know when to exit or enter. Because if you're just holding on to a trade, you're just going to take further losses, because when you're in a position that's going against the market, that the market is going against, for every tick that the market goes in your way, you will be like, oh, it's going my way now. There could be 5 ticks going against you, but that one tick you see, you're like, oh, it's reversing. It's going to come my way now, right? And that is such a bad habit. And when we're talking about impatience, if you're impatient, this is literally not the right path for you. Where have you ever seen something good come in life quickly? Unless you won the fucking lottery, which I know none of you did. Or if you have, please let me know. Let me know where you live. What's your phone number? We'll chill or something, But yeah, so nothing comes quick. Like, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? But the Library of Alexandria was destroyed in a single day. An ancient library was destroyed in a single day. So something beautiful like that can be taken down. And that's why we've all gone through phases where we've lost thousands of dollars because of these destructive habits, right? And you know how hard it is to build that equity, but it's so easy to tear it all down. I'm sure the Library of Alexandria took years to build, one of the most ancient libraries in the world. And then Julius Caesar came and lit it to fire in a single day. Right? So these destructive habits can take away your entire account balance in a single day when you're blindly trading, when you're blindly ignoring emotional intelligence, right? That's what it comes down to. It comes down to being emotionally intelligent. You're financially intelligent, right? You know how the markets work. You're You know this, you have to achieve financial independence. So your financial intelligence is there, or it's in the works. But what you're lacking is the emotional intelligence, which goes hand in hand with finance. If you're if you're running around if you're running around projecting all these emotions, your mind is in chaos, right? And you have to just be able to sit and just be still. And it's constantly something that I work on, because I have diagnosed OCD, so I'm already very impulsive, right? I'm already very impulsive throughout the day. So it's when I first started trading, it was even harder for me to control my impulses. But it gets easier, and it's it takes it takes a deep level of honesty to tell yourself that you are the ones that are you're the thing that's holding you back from achieving success in trading, right? And everybody has to go through that, but that only happens after you've burnt yourself out from making these mistakes. And everybody gets to that point, right? It's a part of the learning curve in trading. So basically, you have to let go of your ego. It only wrecks your trading, right? And ego doesn't do anything. Like, it really doesn't help. You're also when we're talking about beliefs, and they can one thing that I've realized is they can never be doubt in your mind about executing, because when you have doubt, you're not confident, and you have to be confident enough to execute in these markets and have a safeguard, right? There's this quote from the movie called Gentleman with Matthew McConaughey. Amazing movie. The first quote in the film is, "There's no room for doubt in the mind, because doubt causes one's own demise." Okay? There's no room for doubt in the mind, because doubt causes one's own demise. Just write that down. I have that written down in front of my trading desk, and I literally look at it every day before I start trading, because you really have to drill that into your mind. Why would you have doubt? You have to operate from a level of pure confidence and consistency, and that's when you'll start seeing results. When you're confident, and this comes from being able to know what the market is doing. How do you know that? Through documentation revision. So start that process. I know journaling is super important, but you got to do many different forms of journaling. I write down about my trades every day. I make a daily recap every day. I do analysis follow-ups every week. So this overall builds confidence, and it's improved my trading so much over the past 2 months that I know if I wasn't doing this, it wouldn't be moving at an accelerated pace like this, right? So back to emotions and beliefs. Your internal beliefs manifest into your external environment. Okay, so your internal beliefs about yourself, if you have too big of an ego, if you're impulsive, if you have doubt anywhere in your mind. I have zero doubt in my mind that trading's gonna work. Okay, I have absolutely zero doubt that I won't make it. That possibility does not exist in my head. And it shouldn't in yours either, because if it does exist, that means you're not confident. And why are you sitting in front of the chart on a live account if you're not confident, right? So if you think trading's going to be easy, it's going to be easy. Like, it's your internal, but you're going to project what your internal beliefs are. So if you genuinely think that trading is not hard, you won't perceive it as something hard, right? But that comes with experience. That comes with actually knowing it's easy. You can't just say it's easy and it'll be easy. You have to embody the easiness of trading, right? And you basically, it's like the law of attraction or how the universe works. You see what you think of, right? It's like when you go and buy a new G-Wagon, okay? Just an example. You start seeing that car everywhere. You start seeing it literally everywhere. You see 3-4 of them a day. It's because that's at the back of your mind. You have it. Now you see more of it, right? So whatever your internal beliefs are, you're gonna project them, and you're gonna see them. You're gonna see the effects of it on the outside environment. And if you're constantly in fear mode, you will manifest fear in your trading. You won't execute, right? You'll miss moves because you're too afraid to enter the market, and God knows why you're afraid. Markets aren't scary. What's scary about it? You over leveraging in the market moving against you. That's scary. But that comes from you over leveraging, right? That doesn't come from the market yelling boo at you in the middle of a trading session, right? So really, you got to focus on confidence. building confidence, you got to focus on the documentation process. And when I'm journaling, I literally document all my fears, all my emotions, all the technicals of trading and everything. And you really have to let go, because once you start letting go, once you start letting go of trying to pursue a certain outcome, that outcome will start manifesting in your trading, right? Or anywhere in life. And the way that I started my journey of increasing emotional intelligence was, first of all, I started journaling heavily. So I wake up, I write down around a page and a half of just like anything during the day, right? And also about trading. I don't only write about trading, just anything I'm going through, or like what I've done, right? What I'm grateful for. I meditate, right? Meditation is super key. So I'll meditate 20 minutes in the morning. The deeper you go into meditation, the more your mind sounds itself and the more answers you come to. The most I've done is 35 minutes, and that it gets deep after that. You enter the state of theta waves, right? So you got to also write down and be mindful of your weaknesses and strengths. And that, honestly, you can write that from an objective, subjective point of view. But when you're meditating, you also get your brain gives you an objective point of view on that, right? So all of these three are super key, and you should be doing them daily. And I'm sure if you do it, you will experience growth. You will experience the fruits of your labor. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this short talk on emotional intelligence. If you have any questions, always let me know in the description below. I'll be trying to do one of these every week. It's a little podcast. Call it the Mindful Cast. Maybe we'll change up the name, who knows? But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed it. And have a good day. Stay safe trading. And be emotionally smart, yeah?